Opa! Welcome everybody to Stavvy's World 904-800-STAV. Call in. We'll solve all your problems. We have returning after a long absence, our pal, Lara. Ian, thanks for coming, buddy.
Thank you for having me, bro. I feel like I was one of the first episodes in the studio. And then I watched the clips. Didn't you have Blake here?
I had Blake Griffin in that very seat.
I'm like, what
in that very seat, Blake Griffin sat.
Yeah. Dude, when I saw that, I was like, he couldn't have. They must have built a makeshift studio at 30 Rock. There's no way Stav invited him.
No, dude. We've thought about this. We've thought about switching studios. There's something so nice about making famous people come to some shitty apartment building in Queens and being like, this is the podcast?
Yeah, I'm like, did he bring security? I thought that was insane, but I'm happy to be back, man.
Yeah, dude. No, we honestly have thought about switching it up. You know, the Are You Garbage Boys, those motherfuckers pay probably they got prime Manhattan real estate.
Yeah, I mean they did like 2 episodes and was like, okay, we gotta move to Hollywood. This is
who the fuck do those assholes think they are?
They're doing it the good way. I was like, Jesus, no, but they're great. Yeah, everyone talks about how nice their studio is.
It is,
but this works though.
Thank you. This works. We'll take that. That's a route. Like we were just going over the level of sound engineering we have. There's a noisy room next door, and Eldest sometimes remembers to shut the door, and that's all. He always worries about that. I've never seen him tweak a microphone.
No.
I've never seen him do any research on, sound quality.
That's the magic behind the scenes, man. The best engineering is there's a lot going on, but the stuff you don't notice.
I'm sure.
While we were talking, he was like touching the camera. I'm not sure he was touching it. He was like, we were talking and I was seeing him like adjusting, but I wasn't sure he was moving the cameras at all.
Unfortunately, that he does do that every time, and that's actually not a sign of being good at his job, because these cameras have not moved 1 centimeter since the day we set them up. Every time a guest is here, sometimes it takes Eldest. We're sitting here ready to go. Eldest, the cameras that have been here, he's adjusting them for 15 minutes, and we have to do that awkward. We thought we were about to pod, but now we're going back to regular friend conversation, and he's just like tweaking what on earth? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
we got to get you autofocus, man. We got to get you cameras with autofocus. I've learned to just give up. You're never going to figure it out. We just need better cameras.
A good engineer is like God. He's everywhere and nowhere at once in his creation. You don't see him or hear him, but you feel him.
We see you constantly. We see you constantly, and we feel it constantly, and how fucking annoying it is. What are you talking about?
Man, I think it's that big dick energy.
No. You tried to make him big dick.
Why did we wait so long to get Ian back on?
I don't like that. Ian was honestly the first speed bump in setting up the Eldest persona, because early on, you were probably like episode, 4 or some shit like that?
It was like Patreon number 4, 3 or 4 or something
I thought he wasn't on a free ep.
Oh, maybe he was.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but that was when I was when we went on the road. I was opening for you, and I tried.
That's right.
I tried to brand him.
Yeah, he tried to brand him Big Dick Eldest.
I was hoping to stop. You wouldn't let it ride.
There was no way
I've been trying real hard to make that one stick.
There's no way we're letting Big Dick Eldest stick. No chance. Who knows though? Now he's developed a little cult of personality.
Yeah.
So now the true Eldest heads might get behind Big Dick Eldest.
Yeah.
Sound off in the comments.
Well, all the Eldest heads. I was the first dude.
You were. That's true.
He didn't even talk back then.
No. He's really come out of his shell. He really came out of his shell at 35.
I think he got married after that. He just changed his life after a weekend in Albany.
That's true. Yeah. Albany, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moments. Did we talk about this on the last ep? Maybe. Who knows? It was years ago. It was literally over a year ago. But my favorite moment, which really made me and Eldest think about how we consume media, is when we were like, dude, we gotta watch. We like to watch shitty stand-up specials on the road.
Yeah.
And when we pitched a specific special to you, and you were like, so you guys just watch shit that sucks? And you were so confused that we were like pumped to see something that was horrible. And we were pitching it to you like, dude, it's awesome. This guy's bombing the whole time. Right. And you're like, what?
No, you guys were looking forward to it like it was the season finale of Penguin. Yeah. You guys were like, we're going to go back to the house. We're going to throw on a special, man. You're going to love it. It fucking sucks.
We already watched it, by the way. We had seen it like 2 days prior, and we were excited to show it to you because it sucked.
You're gonna love it, man. It fucking stinks. The act outs are bad. The premises are bad. Everything about it is the worst.
Yeah, we really have developed so much of what we like to watch is shit that's horrible.
The funny shit is, I don't want to say who it was.
We can't say it.
The next day, like I was working with you that weekend, and then when I got back to New York on Sunday, I was invited to his premiere of his new special. So I went to the premiere, and the whole time I'm thinking about, man, when Stavro watches this, I mean...
Oh, and I watched it.
He thought the other one was bad.
Oh, and I watched it, brother.
Wait till he sees this.
I have like...
Didn't we just watch that?
We watched.
He's had 2 since then.
Yeah. Oh, we've kept up. No, we watched the second one recently. The one after that one.
Oh my god, bro!
That one's really bad too.
That one is like. I'll admit that one is like level up bad.
It's awesome.
It's like because it's like it tries to be like meta.
Exactly.
It's like it's not just bad comedy. It's like
no, it's fascinating, and unfortunately, we really. It's just a bad look to just openly trash someone, even if we think their stuff stinks. But maybe we need to create another tier on the Patreon, Eldest, for like our true thoughts, the true thoughts tier.
Dude, I went to the premiere and I was watching people pretend that they were like
that they were like moved emotionally. Because that's another element.
Like, this is like deep.
That's my favorite thing about stand-up comedy now is people pretend we're deep. It's like that's so stupid. Yeah. You need to be funny. The entire job is be funny. Right. There is not any other thing about it. It's the simplest art form on earth is make people laugh by any way you need to do it. Figure it out. But you don't got to make them think. It doesn't have to be fucking poignant. And some people can do it, but it's like
funny is out, bro. It's the art form.
It's coming back, brother. It's coming back.
It's no longer funny.
It's coming back, brother.
You're like old school.
Yeah,
like old school mentality.
Call me crazy. I think stand-up should have jokes and be funny and not pander.
You want to be fun. I mean, that's the funny thing about that is because I feel like some comics they just stay away from it. Like they don't like they just like I just do this shit that I do and whatever happens. And then some of them try to fight the culture wars of like.
Well, that's the fucking most bitch ass thing you could possibly do.
I thought so too.
And what's so funny is there's a now because it's like obviously everyone would make fun of alt comics for pandering, but it is literally worse on the right.
It's worse,
so worse. And you know what? Alt comics weren't funny, and they were like, and like half of them were hacks, but some of them were doing imaginative things, and some of them were doing interesting things for the art form. No one is doing anything good on the right. No, there's not one actually funny. And everyone who goes that way gets less funny. And people are going to be some of the worst listeners in our fan base are going to be mad at me for saying that. Suck my dick and unsubscribe. Jeez, but there is not one. There is not one. There's not one like innovator who's talking about not being able to say slurs. There's not one person who with. It's just I don't even think who I would come up. Now it's so fucking hack. And they're the same. They're the same as the left. Yeah, it sucks.
I agree. I think that's the funny part. It's the same. Like, it's the same on the other side. But they don't see it. Like, they saw it objectively when it was one side. We all saw it because obviously, especially in New York, there was like a phase where the comics would go on stage and it was just like kind of clapped. They'll say things like, women shouldn't be sexually assaulted.
Yeah, right.
And everyone was like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we agree.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then not funny to you?
Yeah.
White fucking oppressor. They're from Connecticut.
Right.
It's a girl that was a Republican until 3 years ago, and they're calling straight white men the devil. And it's like, all right.
So I get it. We called it out when it was that, and it was fine. But then when the other, like now, the same people that was calling it out is doing it on the other side, but they don't see it.
And now, and it's awesome because they're literally being gayer than some of the gay alt comics. Like the guys that put on Tyler Fisher will put on lipstick and they'll dress like women, and it's like, that's gay. You are being gay, dude. And it's like, and I like gay comics, but you're making fun of them you go to the store to buy lipstick. They've probably bought there's like right comics that have purchased makeup multiple times.
Yeah.
For their act. Yeah. They know the shade of lipstick that works best. They have opinions on the shade of lipstick that works for their lips, and they're making fun of trans people. It's like, what are we fucking doing here, man?
It's pretty wild.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. What I think is pretty wild is that like some of them are making it seem like they're on this like crusade to like break through, but they're getting like really rich off of it, which is like a weird thing.
Course.
It's a weird thing of being like, I'm fighting for the thing, but if you won the fight that you're fighting for, then you would just be pointless because your whole thing is fighting that thing. Right. So if that thing stopped, then what would you do? Then you would just have to be a comic.
They have nothing to say. They have nothing to say. Right. Yeah. Their acts stink. That's the thing. It's like their acts are mediocre at best, and you don't grow if you fucking. And here's the other thing. And we'll stop talking about comedy soon. We just, because I don't want to be one of those podcasts that overdoes it, but like, you exist against something, and it's like, what do you have to say? Like all the people who talk about free speech, and I think you should be able to, I'm a huge free speech guy, obviously,
right.
But you need something to say.
Yeah.
And you should be able to say the most offensive things for a reason. Not just because you're bombing, and if you say retard, it'll get a laugh. That's not a joke. Yeah, that's literally not a joke.
I couldn't agree with you more. I have a tough time. I think sometimes we let the conversation of free speech, it gets like diluted. Because I think if you sat them down, where it's like, what do you mean free speach? Like, what do you mean by that?
And what do you want to say?
Right. Like
what's the thing you can't say?
Right. Because you're saying it. Yeah. Because we're on your podcast. That's 100 one of the most popular podcasts. Yeah. This is bigger than all media.
Without question.
And you're saying it.
What is the thing you can't say? I'd love to know.
Like, not only that, but if you stepped away from it, it's like, you're also selling out theaters.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know, it's fucking crazy.
Like, what's the thing? What's the persecution that you're
It's crazy.
fighting?
And it's like, those are the same people that call people victims. It's like, you have gotten a victim mentality and become rich off it. And it's just fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I always just wonder, because if you tell me that they understand and they're like, oh yeah, this is just like whatever, I'm doing this to make money. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
I would respect that more.
Okay.
I would respect that more.
I'm from New York. It's like, all right, cool.
I would literally I mean, I don't think Tucker Carlson's a good guy, and I think it is weird how people suck him off sometimes. But it's like, he doesn't have morals or he just does whatever. Like, let's say like Glenn Beck or whatever the fuck. Like, those like right wing guys, they know they're playing. Their politics are probably more conservative than the average person, but they don't believe all the fucking culture war shit they're saying. Right. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh yeah, pretending I'm scared of trans children makes me a billionaire, so I'm gonna do it. Pretending that's a threat. Like, those people aren't actually scared of their son getting his dick chopped off in preschool, but they pretend they are because they know old people will be like, oh, I should fucking buy his book because he's saving my grandchild from turning gay.
But those people, I'm like, all right, whatever, that's your job. But comedians, I'm what's this notion of like, you just want to do comedy in a vacuum where there's no repercussions, where it's just like, say whatever you want, and we can't even, because it's like, you say free speech, it's like, we don't want you arrested. We just want to not laugh.
Just to say you're bombing in a fucking hack.
It. Right.
You are that.
Like, you want freedom from that?
Yeah. I know.
I can't say you're bombing in a fucking hack.
You want to be respected.
Yeah.
But you suck at comedy. Also, there's not that many good, but that is why this happens. It's because like so few people can actually be good at comedy, and so it pisses them off. They think they should be famous, and this is and again, both ways. But I will say, in the last decade, it's become clear it's a lot more profitable and easy to be the right-wing comic now.
Oh, for sure.
Because like the left-wing comics, they still have to go through this stupid, like, they kind of got fucked that the people that were sucking them off were like the dying TV and movie industry. It's like,
tell me about it.
You know what? Yeah. HBO, check out Ian's special on HBO Latino.
I just did my 4th Tonight Show last week.
Yeah, dude. If you had, yeah, you fucked up, man.
It does. I mean, forget like as white guy, because like the white guy right wing field is kind of, it's a little crowded.
It's a little crowded.
Even though you can rise
still,
pretty quickly.
You can still.
But somebody like me on that side, oh my God, I would be a shooting star if I
talking
wanted
about
to.
how actually we destabilize the black family destabilizes itself.
Yeah,
if you said that,
oh my God, dude, it'd just be
man.
arenas.
For real, dude, that would be some of the worst fans of all time. But hey, you would have.
And you know what kind of sucks though? Like, because sometimes obviously you tour and you do places where all there is like right wing people, and they come to my shows, and I'm like, they're good comedy fans sometimes.
They're
as long as you don't
fans.
talk about the stuff they don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, they're good comedy fans.
They'll
like,
take some
damn.
observational humor.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Just don't mention anything they disagree with.
But it is fun to do. I will say one thing, like Austin definitely has become like more of a right-leaning comedy audience for sure. I like that exists though, because it's fun to be able to go. Like I tell a joke about how Elon Musk is a piece of shit here.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah.
I tell it there. There's half the audience just crossing their arms and being like,
he's okay. Yeah.
Talk about gay guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and you're like, I'm getting there.
And I'm like, yeah, don't worry, that's coming. We're getting to that part.
It's 2025, and Mint Mobile's got a resolution for you. Skip the gym, skip the fad diets, dry January. Who gives a shit? Okay? Here's what you need to make your resolution. Saving some serious bucks on your fucking cell phone bill, motherfuckers. That's what you need to make your resolution. Switch to Mint Mobile. We switched our company line, Stavvy Baby Enterprises. Now it's on Mint Mobile. I call Eldest for anything. I say, Eldest, did you get the copy? Did you send me the copy for the Mint Mobile ad? I call him on the Mint Mobile line. Switching over was easy as shit. And we're stupid here. We can barely get these episodes out on time. It was easy. We're saving money right now. For you, Mint Mobile is offering half off their 3-month unlimited plan. Can you believe that? All right, that's huge savings. You could get any 3-month unlimited for only $15 a month, even their unlimited plan, which is what we have here. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You want to be with some little dick 5G network, or you want to be with the big boys? Bring your current phone number, okay, and your current phone. That's what we did. We switched right over. It was nothing. It was no hassle whatsoever. Switch to Mint, and new customers can get half off an unlimited plan until February 2nd. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Stavvy. That's mintmobile.com/Stavvy. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
It was just an interesting observation because we love watching comedy that sucks dick for fun. That's like whenever we're like kind of scrolling endlessly, if it's like me, Eldest, and a couple of our friends, we're like, someone will inevitably say, let's throw on something horrible, or they've had something pinned. And I guess that also, I wonder if that legitimately is a real cultural difference between black guys and white guys. Like, I hate watching things, ironic watching. I never got the sense growing up that my black friends liked doing that. It's kind of like it grows out of sort of like being a hater and a troll in the depths of your of the internet. Like it's grown out of that. And I just feel like I could definitely think of a couple of my black friends that love doing that with me, but it's like, for the most part, there is something like you being like, you just watch shit that sucks was so sobering to think of it that way, where it's like, yeah, I guess I do. I guess I seek out things that are bad.
But personally, I think there's like a quaint charm to that, to the fact that you could just watch it and just let it exist in your own world. You don't have to go on Reddit and make like a whole thing about it.
That's a good point.
You just watch it, you're like, this fucking sucks, and then you just get up and go make dinner.
Well,
like,
I'll
that's
say this.
fine.
I watch things that suck, and I don't have the negative Reddit reaction. I get pure glee from it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like that. Not only am I not mad,
I don't have that neither. I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Where like I'll watch it and like I don't get angry. Like some people get angry.
Right,
like,
right.
Which you ever? I mean, you probably don't engage in comments, but some comments you just want to be like, bro, why are you angry? Like you could have just scrolled past. It's like so much other stuff out there, and some people literally are like, why do I keep getting this bullshit on my feed? Like they'll comment that, and then I'll reply because you're commenting on it.
Yeah, exactly. You just juiced the algorithm,
the algorithm
bro.
thinks this is what you enjoy.
Yeah. That's so. Yeah, it's fucking funny. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What do you think the first thing we watched ironically was? That's a very interesting. Because definitely some of the things I liked growing up, in hindsight, people said were bad, but I just think that's I like shitty, like comedy movies people thought were shitty. Like, I loved Night at the Roxbury. You know what I mean?
Too. People think that's shitty?
Yeah. Like, I loved
I thought that was a classic.
So it holds up. Yeah. I watched it recently, it holds up.
It's a classic, in my opinion.
But that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think, can you come up with anything we watched and made fun of?
I'm thinking back to college, I mean... One thing that comes to mind is like we've always loved rap music, but just the audacity of the lyrics is like an example of that, where it's like this is so over the top and hilarious.
Yeah, maybe Lil Wayne's mixtape run was kind of like the beginning of us both loving something and being like, "That's a crazy lyric."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that maybe that is an interesting. That might be true. And then obviously when 2 Chainz was coming out, he had some bangers. Rick Ross had some great stuff that you could.
I think like the first time I saw something and was like personally offended, not because anything they did, just because I was like, this is so bad that it's like I feel disrespected. And I saw it at the movies. Yeah. It was like Scary Movie like 5.
Oh, that actually might be it.
It was like Scary Movie 5.
No,
dude,
I think
saw it
you're
at the
right.
theaters. I've never seen this before. It was a packed theater. The credits rolled. People got up and booed. Like the director wasn't there. Yeah. People just wanted the theater to know that they were mad about what they just witnessed.
You know what's funny, dude? For me. I think you're right because I love the scary movies. Yeah, the first, maybe even up to 3.
Maybe up to 3. 1 and 2 are great.
1 and 2 unimpeachable. 3, I want to say it was actually a pretty good time. Yeah, I don't remember. It was either 4 or 5. Yeah, dude, I'm having a flashback too, because and what's funny is Simon Rex was in those, and we went on to love. That was a guy we loved when he was like doing like weird rapping in that MySpace era. He was fucking awesome.
Dirt Nasty.
We loved him as Dirt Nasty, but I remember that, and because the other thing is I didn't do any research. It wasn't like we look up a movie. I got there and I was like, who the fuck are the Wayans brothers? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like people you don't know at all. Yeah. It's like by the 5th one, I don't even think like any of the original cast members were in it.
No, they left after 2. They only did the
but
first
I think
2.
the 3rd one they weren't there, but I think they had other original cast members.
Yeah, they had other original cast members.
but like by the end,
wasn't there. Those guys are good at that type of movie.
They're so good.
They're one of the best. I mean, they like that airplane type of like
so good
slapstick. Dude, they were so good. And now they're making a new one. They actually got them back to make like a 6. But part 5, dude, I remember watching it and I was
who's in part 5? Let's find
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Yes, dude. It's so funny. We were having this exact experience at the same time on Up and Down 95. Wow, I mean, no one's in it. Yeah, Simon Rex. Terry Crews, Mac Miller was in it.
Miller's in it.
May he rest in peace. Ashley Tisdale, Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I mean that's tough stuff.
I mean that's a who's who of comedy genius. But they have like good people. Like Kat is in it. But it's like
but he was in it for a scene. Probably,
obscure scenes.
Daryl Hammond was in it. He's the man. But yeah, no, that's a good one. Like for example, I saw Joanna Man in theaters and was like, that was good.
Me too.
Like
I mean, you're naming classics. You haven't named a bad movie yet.
But that's interesting. Yeah, Scary Movie might be... Yeah, what's the first thing you saw and we were like, wait, this sucks?
What was that one Uwe Boll movie that started with like a 9/11 scene? I don't know if that's the first, but that's like an early example I could think of that just something so purely edgelord, troll, not even funny, but just like exists to be provocative, and we were just like a little in wonderment of like how stupid and like
I don't think I even saw it though. I think I was just like, being like, oh, that's gonna be.
We didn't see it, but I remember we thought like that scene trailer was hilarious.
Yeah, because in 2009 to do a joke of a guy hitting the Twin Towers, that still hit. That still was like audacious.
Yeah.
Now, fucking 7-year-olds will make a Twin Towers joke the way we would make Pearl Harbor jokes. Like to them, they don't fucking give a fuck.
Yeah.
But at the time,
what's fascinating with me with like movies or even stand-up specials, where I like my mind starts to think like, how many people before this got to me, how many people saw this and was like, yeah, let's put this out. Like this is something. This is something good.
Oh, with movies, it's even crazier.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like, I mean,
they do like they'll screen it for people.
Yeah.
And people will be like, yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Hundreds of people, even on a low budget movie, hundreds of people work on a movie.
Right.
No one says shit at any point.
Yeah.
People see the script. People see it's like all the actors are like, yeah, okay. Everyone's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking, we're just doing it.
Yeah. I wonder if like, because I think what happens is you get sucked up into the vacuum and you start to just, it becomes like an echo chamber where everyone is just like, this is good. So I guess you start to believe that it's good.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I was like on set, if I'd be able to say like, this is garbage. Like, this is not
I'm trying
good.
to think. Yeah. You probably feel it, but you're like, maybe you're like, what the fuck am I going to do about it? I'm here.
Yeah, I'll definitely take the check and do a bad movie for sure. I would love to.
Yeah.
But I would come on a podcast and talk shit about it.
Yeah. The Tim Dillon approach to Joker. I mean, that motherfucker's been trashing Joker in a hysterical way. He's the man for that one.
That was a bad one. Right?
I know. That one I'm interested to see because I think it might be so bad. It's like one of those things where people are like, this isn't even bad good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to watch it, actually, Elders. We should do our official review of Joker.
No, there's a level of bad where you get offended. Like,
for sure.
You get
like,
like...
you know what else? The fucking, that Mark Wahlberg, The Plants Are Killing People movie? I saw that.
I never saw that one.
The Happening, maybe? Is that what it was called?
I think that like there's like a level of bad where you're like, this is bad. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And then there's a level of bad where you're like you want to write your senators. And
get
the shit removed.
What about when you were a little kid? Was there something that I'm trying to think if there was like a Disney movie I hate, or like what's the very first like memory you could have of something being like yuck? Because it is funny when a little kid really doesn't like something. Yeah. They won't fucking hide it at all. Have you seen?
Really, I think it's tough. Like kids, I can't think of like a kid not liking something.
Have you ever seen your nieces reject something?
My wife tried to sit my niece down to make her watch like the original like Beauty and the Beast because she just loved it so much when she was a kid.
That's a classic, yeah.
And like my niece was like just bawling because it looks like old bullshit. If you're a kid, like the animation is completely different than it was now.
She wants to see AI bullshit.
And she was like, she like my wife had a wager with her. She's like, just watch it for 5 minutes, and if you don't like it, we can turn it off. Yeah. And she was like counting down the clock when she was like 3 years old. She was like, "It's 5 minutes up." Like, I don't want to watch this.
Owned your wife, dude. That's tough. Losing a battle of wills to a 3-year-old. You got to respect her for at least hanging in for that 5 minutes.
I had moments like that when I was a kid. Like, I loved Rugrats, Doug, all that classic shit. Then like the new wave of cartoons comes in, and like you just like don't like it, you're not into it. And it's probably just because I was getting older, but I was like, oh, this isn't anywhere as good as fucking Rugrats.
It starts
like,
so early.
Bullshit. Yeah.
I wonder what's the age,
you're like this
what's
shit.
the age where you're literally like as a kid like this fucking sucks. Like, this is garbage.
I feel like we're seeing more kids say that now. I feel like kids are
but what age
pickier
do
now.
You mean it?
What age do you mean?
Because sometimes it's cool to say something sucks.
Well, like, for example, our friend has a baby, and that motherfucker, if you're not putting on Finding Nemo, he's not interested.
Yeah.
He's 2, you know what I mean? Like, so to him, or like he'll watch Cars, you know what I mean? But like, it is interesting. I wonder how many little-ass kids if that's where they have to start. The first generation of like the Pixar kind of computery ones. Yeah. And if they'll watch like, because I feel for your wife, because I've thought that too. It's like, if someone in my family has a kid, I'm like, oh, I want to watch the shit I liked as a little kid. But it's like, they're not going to want to watch Aladdin. They're not going to watch Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like, Pee-wee's Playhouse to a little kid, it's like, bunch of people.
No. Also,
They wouldn't give
I
a
feel like
fuck.
a lot of the stuff we watched when we were kids, now as adults, we look back and you're like, this had weird sexual connotations. This had a weird sexual undertone.
Well, definitely all the Nickelodeon shit with that fat, you know, there's that fat pervert who was like fucking giving.
SpongeBob has like sex jokes in it. Like it legitimately has like that's what she said type jokes for kids.
Shout out, you know what? I didn't like SpongeBob when he first came out, but I changed my tune later on.
Oh, SpongeBob's great.
No, it's a banger, but I remember I think it was a little bit of what you're describing, where it was like, this
little
isn't
like-
Rocco's Modern Life.
I was a little
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
too, but the consistency of SpongeBob, it's like I got one over even like in middle school when I was done with cartoons or something.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was one that you're like, because it caught us generationally at a time where it's like, I'm not a fucking little ass kid. I'm not watching you cartoons.
Yeah.
And then you just watch it. You just watch it as a man in middle school. You're like,
SpongeBob might be the Seinfeld of cartoons.
ooh, that's interesting.
But like, it's the thing where
interesting.
when you watch it, you're like, objectively, this is really good.
This is putting out
They're
good
trying
stuff.
to find a formula for a Krabby Patty. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, well-defined characters.
Right.
Honestly, characters that do the same way you watch Seinfeld still holds up in a way that I don't think shit from like, you know, like Seinfeld now is what, 30 years old?
30, yeah.
40 years old almost?
30, yeah.
30, yeah. 30 years that's a lot and it still holds up. Same way it's like you recognize the characters, the archetypes.
Yeah.
SpongeBob, the archetypes are pretty good.
They're good.
Doofus, his doofus friend, the try hard SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Squidward, just a fucking piece of shit sticking.
Yeah.
Sandy, the enthusiastic girl that no one has a chance at fucking, but they
Yeah.
all secretly want to.
Yeah.
You know, that's the subtext there. The
Sandy's like Elaine.
yes, yeah. That is true.
It's the SpongeBob of cartoons.
It's kind of like
cartoons.
It's almost like Kramer SpongeBob though. I feel like. Anyway,
Or no, Kramer couldn't Kramer be Patrick? Because Patrick is like a little goofy and he does like goofy shit.
The thing with Seinfeld was that Seinfeld was the one. He was the blank slate that you could project anything onto.
Yeah.
He really didn't have much personality in the show.
No.
It was about everybody else.
Right,
And he
right.
was kind of the straight man, even though he was the stand-up comic.
Right.
Everyone else. And so it's like SpongeBob's definitely not the straight man. If anything, Squidward is the closest thing to the straight. Squidward might be Jerry, honestly. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, maybe.
In some ways. It's not a one for one, but I take your point of like, as a kid's cartoon, because then obviously we can start thinking of, even though the Simpsons it's a different division than Simpsons and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Kids cartoon, SpongeBob being Seinfeld is a pretty good take. I like
It's
that.
not bad. I just had like a weird moment where I'm like, man, this is where we are, like in media. Like we're having an introspective conversation about whether SpongeBob and Seinfeld's the correlations they had, and we're having an earnest conversation. And your listeners are going to listen to it and be like, "This is good."
I think this might be the most thought-provoking question we've ever introduced on the podcast.
Man, I love this pod. They really get into it. They really.
Fuck, dude. Were you like a latchkey kid? Did you just watch TV by yourself, or did you go home to...
I did watch TV by myself, but I was the youngest of like 5, so it's like
I feel like I never even knew that.
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so growing up, like I had older sisters and brother, and you know when you have older, sometimes you just want to watch what they want. Like I remember watching Jamie Foxx, I Might Need Security, his stand-up special when I was like 6.
That's awesome.
And he's talking about like sleeping with J-Lo, and I'm like, that was like my first introduction to stand-up. So I used to watch like Hey Arnold, but then I would watch like, you know, Def Comedy Jam when it got brought back in the 90s.
That's so funny. At 6.
Yeah.
What were the ages? What are we talking? Like who's the closest
I have one
to you?
sister who's a year older than me, and then the rest are a lot because my mom, she was married 2 times, and I have one sister who's like 10. Then my brother's 10 years older, my sister's like 15, and another sister's like 17.
Oh, so your brother who was 10 years older, was he around?
Yeah. We all grew up in the same house.
Oh,
so I was like, you know.
So you were like almost like the mascot of the family. You're the baby.
Kind of, but I wasn't like, I'm not like a look at me guy. I was kind of like the quiet, like
was
watching.
Your sister more like that? Because you two were the babies of the family.
Yeah, no. Actually, none of us were like that. No, yeah, it was weird because we just didn't have that dynamic. We were kind of all just like. I wasn't like a mute, but I wasn't
Everybody
like.
was like polite roommates to each other. There was that.
My mom ran a tight ship.
Everybody was all business.
Yeah. We used to put on our suits, watch Friday night movie, and then go to sleep at a decent time.
That's so fucking funny.
It's funny when you go to like, you do like these like meetings or whatever with like industry people, and they, especially if you're a minority, they want you to say that like you came from like a crack house. That
Totally,
like,
yeah.
I had to sell crack when I was 6 years old just to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
That's like they're digging for that, and you're like, you don't have it.
Tell me some trauma.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes my mom wouldn't cook on Friday; she'd order Chinese food. And they're like, cause she was prostituting herself. I'm like, no, I just think she was tired from work.
She was taking night classes to go to law school. And they're like,
she's a little tired.
You see them get mad. You see them get mad because you didn't get molested. And your uncle,
they're like, this guy's a waste
took
of time.
some liberties. No, he just needed to get back on his feet in between consulting gigs.
He's a great uncle. Yeah, he's a great uncle. He
had made some bad investments. Didn't play the market exactly right. So he just crashed with us for a month until he got a new hedge fund job.
He used to do the dishes. We didn't have a dishwasher. Is that trauma? I know most people have a dishwasher. We didn't. He would wash the dishes. It was fine.
Have you seen Julio Torres' show about
the shapes thing?
No, he did it. Yeah, Shapes was a special, I think, but he has a show called Phantasmas, which is fucking hysterical, and that talks a lot about that, where it's like that's a running theme about like trying to get him to make something about, you know, his poor abuela, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's just trying to make his own shit, and they're like, it's so fucking funny. Yeah. Speaking of gay comedy that I love, that's one of the gayest shows they're making, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
It's so funny, but it deals with that exact theme of like them wanting to tap dance, but in a different way, like
right, yeah. No, dude, that happens a lot. Like it happens a lot, and that's kind of what I'm worried with now, because I feel like. The pendulum just swings, and now I'm like, I thought we was out of that woke like thing, and I feel like now, in response to like the
Trump
new
in office
president,
again,
it's just gonna swing back, and I don't want it to swing back. I don't want it to be.
I'm a little worried about that too. I do think, because it's not, you can't even pretend to that like anti-cancel culture shit is rebellious when it's, you know, there's a Republican billionaire in office. You know what I mean? Like you can't pretend. Right. It's like, yeah. No one my hope is that people that talk about all this woke bullshit realize that like just policing people's behavior means absolutely nothing. You're not making a fucking difference. Right. That we have to abandon that shit and actually talk about the reasons people act out in ways that are fucked. Because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say there's not racism and homophobia and shit like that, but it's like nobody's offering people any solutions. Democrats aren't saying Democrats are pretending shit's good. Yeah. So then if your only other option is like, well, it's actually Latinos and gay guys that's the reason your life's bad.
Yeah.
People who are fucking dumb and poor are going to be like, yeah, it is fucking Latinos and gay guys. Yeah. Whereas like you could say rich guys are fucking, but it's so my hope is that not that there even is a left in this country anymore. Democrats are now fucking just moderate Republicans. But my hope is that like there will be a real left that talks about economic issues, because like that's what happens. Rich people like the party of the rich wants to fucking keep people, like wants to pretend it's cultural issues, whether it's race, gay, whatever the fuck, even gender now with like taking away fucking abortion rights. They want to pretend that is what's keeping you apart, where it's like, it's always economics. Yeah. It's always that rich people want to take your money. They they don't want tax. They want to be the ones that don't pay taxes and make all their money off your back and off your work. But
I think in entertainment, sometimes I find that like we have such a how quickly we forget. Like I don't think while Trump was in office the last time, I don't think there was a worse time for like a straight white man.
It's also not funny.
In history of America, like I don't think there was a worse time to be in the sense of like the woke movement had them pinned down. Trump got out of office and the woke movement kind of shifted and those guys all got elevated and became super famous. Right. So like the narrative of like, we want to go back to that, thinking it's like a bashing of like free speech. I'm like, did you forget that was like the toughest time?
Worst.
There was so many people who deserved, like were funny and killing it and deserved specials and deserved things. And the industry was literally like, we're not taking white guys. And I'm like, did you forget that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they don't understand. Yeah, it is fucking stupid. And I hope that, because people want to pretend they're doing something and they're like acting like they're offended at a racy joke. It's like, you could have just like done something to stop him from getting in office. You know what I mean? Like instead, now that he's won, they have to show. It's like that showing you're a good guy and not doing anything. You know what I mean?
I think it's weird too. Like as comedians now, like they're like getting into like political.
It sucks.
That's so strange,
dude.
I thought we were supposed to like be objective and be like, look at these two assholes.
That's what I thought we were supposed to. I know, dude. I'm really worried. It's like, because I have my own beliefs, obviously, but it's like I've tried to hold off,
of course.
But it does get to the point,
just
for the sake of comedy. But it is even getting to the point where I'm like, at some point it becomes like you kind of have to say something if half the industry is like actively championing some shit that I know that I personally believe is fucked up. I'm trying to hold off. I'm not, we're all friends here. This is my personal podcast, but I never want to you don't want to be the person who's like hours about that. It sucks.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, yeah, like, I hope we're just going through an era and like we move, because I understand there's a space for, like you said, that introspective, thought-provoking comedy, but the fact that everyone has to be doing that,
and some of the dumbest people you've ever met in your life, some of the truly stupidest people on earth are trying to do that shit.
Truly. Well, I'm like, I mean, look, my act is about women calling me gay. Like, that's my fight.
Yeah. As a small fashionable man, you're gonna be fighting that fight.
Right. I had a mustache. That's what my act is about.
I wanted to ask you about that. You're coming on on the mustache corner, dude. But yours was very nice and manicured.
I had a mustache. I was just.
What were you thinking about that?
I was just going through. I was like, let me just try something different. It worked. It worked. It opened up a door for like it was like older women were thinking I was like attractive. Who
really?
Yeah,
you
women
get the little mustache.
Yeah, they're like, wow, you remind me of like my boyfriend in the 80s. You know, which that was nice. And then other guys with mustache, we'd have that where they'd be like, what do you do for
the mustache bro report?
Yeah, that was nice.
Are you interested in an older woman?
I mean, I guess it depends. I'm not I think it's weird to go outside and be like, I want an older woman.
Sure.
Like a girl your age comes by, you just give her like a stiff arm. Get the fuck out of here.
You don't have like a defined type in that way.
No, I don't think so. I'm open.
Sure.
I'm open, but then it's like, I'm kind of worried of like a friend of mine. She told me she was dating a guy who was 30 years older than her.
Wow.
And at the time, he was like 55 or something. And I was just like, you have like 5 more years before he's like... I'm like, you really have like 5 more years before this man is 60. Like, have you thought about this at all?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, like I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think you're thinking about this.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it is obviously case by case. I mean, it depends who you marry, right? It's like, I'm a 35-year-old obese man, like, Mediterranean man. And if I marry, there's 65-year-old Asian women now that will outlive me. You know what I mean? Like, so it kind of depends if your friend is like, if your friend is kind of mess that's gonna die early, maybe date somebody that's gonna, that might hold up.
But even that, it's not even the fact about living, because you could live to 100, but it's like, do you want to be 60 years old dating a 100-year-old? even if they're alive, well, is that the play you want? I mean, like you have like 15 years before you're literally taking care of this person, like they're the elderly. Right. You're literally having to like get your soup. Like, is that the life you want from 40 on?
That's an interesting conundrum. Some women appear to want that, weirdly.
Well, women like older. Like older is like an attractive thing. Sure. Which when I was a younger dude, I was like, what's that about? But now when I'm like in my mid-30s, I'm like,
You're like, nice. Time to collect.
Yeah.
Time to collect on all the pussy I lost to 35-year-olds when I was 21. Hey, I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that thought. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Dude, not to bring back the PC thing, but I was thinking about this when I was coming to, because like the it's so funny because like the PC guys, like they're like the anti-woke, they're like, we can't say anything, which I'm like, just say the thing.
You can say whatever you want.
And just say it and let whatever happens happen. Stop trying to fight. I'm like, Starrose, you tweet out, you know, just wrapped up on a movie with Love Head. Like you're literally leaving like a Netflix filming like, today was a long day. I would love if a young woman just came over and gave me head.
It's true. That is what I would love.
And everyone's like, he's so earnest. This man is so true. He's a truth teller.
You just gotta be yourself,
and
man.
I've never heard you be like, man, I can't say what I want to say.
No, I think it's you obviously can say whatever the fuck you want to say. That's the craziest thing. The only thing you really might get in trouble for is dropping an N-bomb. That's really the hardest thing. And it's like, why do you want to say that? You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Like, or you know, the classic homophobic F slur.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
which sure, it's hilarious.
It's funny in certain circumstances.
Sure.
When Eldest is dressed a certain way,
right?
You want to call him
pants.
that.
Of course, I want to say that to him.
Of course, he's trying out stripes that don't really suit him,
right?
And it's whatever, man. You want to, you don't say. And is that, by the way, is that big a deal? It's literally two.
Right.
It's literally two words that you actually probably can't say most of the time.
Yeah, but also you I think a lot of times it's like you could say it, but they want to remove themselves of the weight of having to make it good.
Yeah,
it's like you could say it if it's great.
Even that, but it has to be. It's you're walking a tightrope,
right?
And you can't fucking do it.
Don't be like, give me a platform,
a really big ass,
a
really big ass fucking sheet of plywood.
Right.
I want to be, I want to be able to stumble barely over plywood.
Right, yeah. Which is, it'll swing back. Which I felt like it swung extremely one way, and I'm worried for the extreme swing back. Cause I felt like we were in a good place.
We'll be fine, man. Who gives a fuck?
Everybody was just saying whatever.
The world, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Damn. I get what? Oh yeah. I'm still. I didn't realize the 5. That's fucking crazy. So, but it was just like, and you grew up in Queens, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was just like you were in a, 5 siblings is still a lot, even if shit was nice and orderly.
Yeah, but the fact that they were so much older than me. By the time I was like in my teenage years, they were kind of out the house.
Gotcha.
And they were kind of doing their own thing. So it wasn't like we was like. I remember probably till like I was like maybe 11, 12. It was all of us. And after 12, like when I was 12, my sister was like 26 and she got married. Right. She left and my brother started. He was out, so it wasn't.
That's like a very immigrant. I mean, that's how fucking Greek people in Greece are, where it's like you stay in the house until you get married.
Right.
Actually, a lot of people in fucking Greektown are like that. Weirdly, like where I grew up, they still kind of behave that way.
Yeah.
You left. You didn't wait till you got married.
No, I didn't wait till I got married. I left my house. I mean, I went away to college, and then when I came back, I stood at home for a couple years, and then I left at like 28, 29.
Okay.
I got my own place. But if it were up to my parents, they would be like, stay here forever. They'll be like, get married and move in. Take the basement apartment.
That's fucking hilarious.
Dude. Which I kind of get. I kind of get it. Like I don't like, you've heard this before. Like a lot of white parents, when you turn 18, they're like, get the fuck out. Which is like, do you hate your kids?
Yeah,
like,
it's so weird.
Like I would think that. If I had kids, I would be like, you could
chill. I'd love to see you. I mean, there are those depressing statistics where it's like when you fucking, by the time you leave for college, you've seen your parents like 80% of the time you're going to see them your whole life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right?
Like that shit's, and then I think about it, I'm like, it is kind of like, I don't see, and I have a good relationship with my mom. I don't see her that much. You know what I mean? Like it is fucking wild. And also there's something nice about, like, I like the idea of being able to live near your friends or your family or whatever it is. Like, there is something, and also the way, like, humanity should be. You have a kid, it's nice if a fucking uncle or grandma or somebody is fucking right there. Yeah. Because that's also how parents don't go crazy.
Right,
like, it is kind of like more of a group family effort, but.
This is like a weird statistic that I just thought of when you said that. When I left my house, which was probably like 29, when I moved out of my house, which was like right before COVID, because we had a 3-family and I had one of the apartments.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was nice.
That's a beautiful.
But then I wanted my own space, so I moved out. When I moved out of my house, which was 2020, my mom, who's since has passed away, she got sick, got cancer, and passed away. I saw my mom, like, after I moved out of my house, I saw my mom less than 100 times. Like, again, dude. So when I moved out, I had already saw her 95% of the time.
That was most of it.
Gonna see it. And then the rest of it was like, I used to come over and see her in the holidays and stuff, but she only lived like 3 years past that. And I saw her less than 100 times. So that's like something to think about.
Totally,
which
dude.
We don't. We just kind of flow through life thinking that it'll be like forever, but it's not. So.
I know. That's the fuck. It is fucking sad to be like, damn. I mean, we're all at the fuck. We're all the same. You're 35?
Mm-hmm. 34.
34. Yeah, we're all pretty much the same age. It's like, this is when it hits you that it's like, oh, it's the hearts at the top of the screen. They're not gonna go on forever. You know what I mean? They're shrinking just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
I mean, I don't know when this happened. I think it was after 30. Like, I constantly walk around thinking that like I'm dying. Like physically, like I think, and I'm like pretty good in shape. I go to the gym, and I'm like, I'll get chest pain, and I'm like, here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, but that's what you're thinking. What do you think? What do you think I'm thinking over here?
I wonder, what do other people think? Because I'm like,
dude, I'm the same, but also for good reason. I mean, last year on that last tour, I've talked about it, but it's like I thought I was gonna die like half the nights. I was like going to bed fucked up, taking like pills, eating like shit. You know what I mean? And I was like,
dude, I thought like, cause I did a couple stops with you on this tour, and I went up there, and I thought like, I was like, all right, I'm opening for Stav. I thought it was gonna be like backstage, it's gonna be like strippers, like walking around in like panties, and it was gonna be like rock and roll. And then I show up, and it's like a Thai buffet. Like in between shows, you're like, we had this whole restaurant catered. And I'm like, well, this is nice too.
We were eating and getting fucked up, and I mean, it was Albany. I don't know what the pussy's looking like in Albany. You know what I mean? There's cities where you're like, all right, we're gonna think about the catering a little more than the after party in certain cities. To be fair,
I think sometimes that's when you go to like a shit city, like, not to say Albany is a shit city.
It is.
Which
no,
it
is. Yeah.
But that's not what I'm trying to say. But I think sometimes when you're playing the Egg, this is like the big theater in Albany. True. It's like the top notch of that city is gonna come out. Like,
perhaps.
So that's kind of nice.
Perhaps.
Because every city has a top.
Sure.
Every city has like some hotties that are gonna move to like LA, Miami, or New York.
Sure, you got to catch them
before they go.
Before they go. That's true. That's a good point.
Which is when are you going back out? Are you going back out?
We're going back out actually by the time this episode comes out. The Dreamboat Tour is being advertised. If you're one of those top hotties in a city,
you can come for free.
You can, DM me for real. DM me a picture of your tits. We'll get you in there for free, no problem.
You can say anything.
Fuck you got to come back again. We spent too much time talking about how annoyed we are at cancel culture warriors, but go see Ian. Hilarious, one of my favorites, and a just good comic who is not going to preach to you. We'll just write good jokes.
Completely different now.
Yeah. You go up there,
you're like, these fucking trains are trying to play.
I go to bat for you. You're like, dude.
They're trying to play sports. They're trying to beat the shit out of your little girl.
Yeah, this is something I really give a fuck about. Women's college tennis. Now I fucking care about that for some fucking reason. I'm the guy that talks about how boring the WNBA is, if you'll fucking let me hear it. Right. But now I care about Division II women's minor college sports. Anyway, whatever. Eldest, hit us with a fucking question, little buddy.
Hey, Stavvy.
Not playing.
Stavvy, baby. Hey, Stavvy. Stavvy, baby, and LD. Weird thing, and I guess not that weird. I'm in a good relationship. Like the best relationship I've ever been in.
Nice.
My issue, though, is that I've just put on so much weight since I've been in this relationship. Like, I'm aware that like people get happy and they maybe put on extra weight, but I'm like 260 pounds now.
My goal weight.
I've never been this big. I've always been in good.
My goal weight.
How tall is he?
Would love to get a nice trim 260 again.
A nice lean.
Nice lean 260 at 5'7". Go ahead, Eldest.
I'm like 260 pounds now, and I've never been this big. I've always been in good shape. And the problem is that whenever I like take my shirt off around my girlfriend, she's like, she gets turned on by it. She loves that I'm big. Like, she just loves my belly. And you're a big guy, and I don't know, like,
pal.
Is it weird that I, like, feel insecure about it? Because, like, if she likes it, then who cares? I don't know. It just, like, is there a way I could be like, hey, I like that you like that I'm sexy, but I don't like that I feel so fucking fat all the time.
Those F's hurt me, dude.
I don't know.
His enunciation hit me.
Feel this way about it, but I feel like this relationship has been so good, but physically I'm like just not in a good place health-wise.
Interesting.
So I don't know. One fat guy to another.
Okay, the hard F fat I've never felt before.
Yeah, I feel like he's like roasting you. And like,
You're the fucking fat one,
bastard.
Yeah, and
How do you deal with it?
And he's complaining that his girl wants to fuck him too much.
Yeah. This is strange.
You're weak-minded, my friend.
Yeah.
You have one of the most weak minds I've ever come across. You're basically letting societal standards that your own girl that you love and say you're in a great relationship, your own girl doesn't subscribe to. You're letting what other people, other faceless, nameless people might think of you affect how you see yourself, right? And look, I'm not going to tell you that you should be fat, right? From a health perspective. Obviously, like, if your diet has gone to shit, if there's things in your life that you want to fucking take care of, that's fine. But if you're in a place where your partner loves the way you look and you can adjust your habits to be healthy, maybe you lose a little weight, maybe you start working out more and so you can become big in a different way, and maybe you kind of meet it halfway where, you know, you're taking care of your diet, you're not overdoing it, and you start to feel healthy, and maybe you don't look, you're aging, maybe you don't look as good as you used to when you were younger, whatever. If you can get to a place where you feel healthy and you're still a little bigger than you'd like, you're being a fucking pussy about this. You're in a great spot right now, and I wouldn't let this, like, it feels like to me, this is some like fat phobia that he's turning on to himself a little bit. You know what I mean?
This reminds me a lot. I feel like women have this issue a lot sometimes where like they'll be like, you know, I hate my huge big titties. And then the man will be like, well, I love your big titties. And they'll be like, well, I want to get a breast reduction. And the man was like, well, I'll leave you.
Be like, oh,
I'll leave you if you fuck up what the Lord.
What did you say?
Right. I feel like this is just reverse. Like this woman is like, don't you dare lose a pound.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I don't feel sexy.
Yeah.
Which is like
crazy. I hate to sort of turn toxically This is basically toxic masculinity versus fat phobia, and I'm like, fucking bitch. You know what I mean? You're being a fucking pussy, chief.
Yeah, 260, you know, I don't know. Look, if he's 5 feet, 260, that's huge, but 260 is not terrible.
Right.
And if you could stay around there and still, you know, be active, don't be a slob, that's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I really think more than anything, this is like internalized, you know, you don't feel hot the way traditionally women struggle with. But it's like, who is it for? I guess the question is, what about this? Really look at the stem and the root of this feeling to you. Because for me, I can tell you personally, and maybe this is a little obvious to people, but like, now I've gotten old enough where it is about my health. Because but when I was younger, it's like I only lost weight to get attention from women. Sure. It was never about anything else. And that's my own issue, that I let that dictate a little too much of my thing. But it's like, there's also the exact, you could go a little bit opposite where it's like, this isn't even this isn't even a positive to you. You seem so sad and you've kind of hit the jackpot. You've hit a situation that most men would kill for. You get to get fucking chubby and your bitch loves it, and then dude, do some fucking bicep curls, be like a stout bouncer type guy, and eat a little less. If you're feeling unhealthy, fix the other parts of your life, but don't worry so much about your body. Work on how you think about yourself and think about why you're so judgmental to yourself.
Dude, I once dated a girl and she was like a small girl. She was probably like 5'2", like petite girl. And her thing was she wanted a man that was like 300 plus.
Yeah. What's she up to?
And
I'll tell her to holler at me, dude.
And I felt like I felt the opposite of this guy. I was like, I'll never be that.
Yeah,
I could never be 300 plus pounds.
I have literally found there have been times where I hooked up with somebody randomly, right, on one of my great solicitations that you talked about earlier, right? And I assumed they were a fan or of some of the podcast, of stand-up, whatever. And I've hooked up with a couple girls who straight up did not really know who I was, and they liked fat guys. And I was just like a fat guy on the internet that they wanted to fuck. There are people out there. They were hot. One for two. But they were, one was very hot. One was fine,
Yeah.
But no. It's like the people exist like this, and it's like they definitely and in his case, it's like you found somebody who likes that. You need to figure out, this is your own shit. You need to figure out what's at the center of it. And that's sort of more long-term advice. Practical advice, I think you hit it on the head, where it's just like, you're not, as work out a little bit. Don't feel overly sloppy or whatever the fuck. But you're fine, dude.
I feel like he should have sent a picture with this this call.
I'd love to see how fat you are.
So we could be like,
yeah. Oh, we take it back.
Yeah, you gotta fuck what she said.
We take it back. I don't know. Your tits are so strange, dude. You've got I thank the Lord that He gave me the best fat loadout possible. This is you want to have this kind of. You could weigh as much as me and be much fluffier and shittier, and I've got, which people say is bad. Hard fat is actually really bad for your vital organs. But it is. But it looks good.
Yeah, it's bad.
The fluff, you want to be a real fluffy guy, apparently.
Do you think, what if do you think if let's say you lost 100 pounds right now? Mm-hmm. Like
100 I could do no problem, and I would still be fat, by the way.
Really?
I'm probably 310 right now.
So let's say you got down to a lean 180. 180, 5'7", 180. Do you think your career would change? Like,
it would change for sure. I mean, I think I would. First of all, I don't want to be 180. That's weird to me. I would love legitimately to be 220. That's like the lowest I'd ever. And I'm 5. That's like
225.7 is big.
It's still pretty. I would still be in XLs probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I can't even imagine. I don't know. What am I going to go Al Sharpton mode? You see that motherfucker? He's skinny as fuck. It's so weird.
The highest I ever got was 170. That was like the highest.
Yeah. And how did it feel for you as a 170?
I felt sturdy.
Were you working out a bunch?
No, I was being a slob. Yeah, I was being a slob. And I wasn't like crazy, but
sure.
I felt sturdy.
Yeah.
But I just rather like I feel like I look better like 160, 170. Which is like, but that's just what I'm used to. But I'm trying to see if I got up to 220.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
220 is.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see you fat. I'd love to see everyone fat. Personally.
Yeah, if it were up to you,
I'd love to bring everybody over here, see what it's really like. See, show them they can't hang, they can't swim in these waters. But yeah, you got to get over whatever the fuck's in your head. Sorry to dismiss you, but you're sounding like a fucking bitch to me, dude. Next question, Eldest.
I love like he called for like earnest advice, and
we gave it to him.
Like, you sound like a little bitch.
We gave him. We gave him what he needed to hear.
Hey, Stavvy. So I was in a relationship for most of my 20s, and now that I'm 30, I've had a year of being single for the first time, and I'm encountering all kinds of issues in relation to being a player and balancing multiple women at one time. And the main issue for me is physical evidence. I've been decent with the phone, and I can handle that, but a lot of these women seem to be intentionally leaving evidence in my apartment to disrupt my relations with other women.
This guy's out of his. You think these bitches are the CIA, man?
He thinks they're leaving like the leave behind. They're doing the leave behind in his apartment.
And I clean my apartment, I vacuum, I do these things, but still there are issues. And I'm wondering, I'll give some examples. an eyelash on the ground. I did not know that was something that could happen. And recently, makeup on the wall.
Makeup on the wall.
Oh, you pressing the bitch's face to the wall.
And I think the worst one was behind a picture of my family. There was earrings, which those have to be 100% intentional. So my question to you is:
what?
Is there a protocol for something like this? As a man, should we sweep through the house?
Don't throw me in here.
And make sure that the woman from before didn't leave anything sneaky for another woman? Or am I wrong for even having two different women over
we're talking about
apartment?
2 women.
I guess, have you ever encountered this issue? And what was
this
your
is crazy. Advice? 2 women, you can't keep the fucking a little consistency between 2 women. So this guy is talking about this is first. He was saying this is his first time being single, pretty much. And he's how old was he? The first.
He just turned 30, I think.
Okay.
Or he's 30.
And he's single for the first time. Most of my 20s. Gotcha.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I got a specific move
please.
for this.
Yeah,
that,
please.
That it'll work every time. So here's what you do. When you're about to bring a girl over for the first time, right? Like let's say you got a girl coming over for the first time, but you recently had another girl that was over another time. What you do is you tell that girl that, like the new girl that's coming over, in conversation, you mentioned that you had like your sister over the week before, or you had your cousins over the week before.
My cousins
that you
were
had like a
visiting.
little get together with like a bunch of like your female family
is
members.
so important to me.
Yeah, and they all came. So you'll be like, hey, even if your apartment is fully clean, you're like, hey, I'm sorry if my apartment's a little crazy. My cousins were over, and they're girls. They were getting dressed or whatever.
And how about this? You say your cousins, you say female and male, and then you leave like a pair of Jordans that aren't your size around also. So you're covered for the male thing.
Right.
And then you also, there's fucking Frank's shoes and fucking Sarah's earrings.
Yeah, or hair, whatever the case may be. So when in the event that the girl you bring over does find something, she'll be like,
"Oh, that's my cousin's butt plug."
Yeah.
That's my cousin's warming lube.
Have used
warming lube.
Right. This is
oh
a kid.
My God. My cousin left his sex pillow here. That's good though. I like that. Something about this though is this guy's talking about 2 women. First of all, it's not wrong to date as long as you're not lying to anyone.
That's the main thing. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Who gives?
I mean, this guy must not. This guy don't live in New York. I'll tell you that.
Right. You telling me a girl you just met, went on a date with, and is coming back to your house to fuck you is concerned that there's another eyelash at your head? Like, what does she think you're doing?
Well, who knows where he's from, right? I don't know. Let's not reveal the area code, but you want to look it up just so we can just see where it might be. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So this guy is not from a major metropolitan area. Yeah. He's 30. He's probably dating women around his age
who like are trying to get married.
They want to get married. Like if he's talking about 2 women and one is, and that what I was going to say is this is not really a player issue. This is a who you're dating issue, and one of these women is trying to sabotage you. Right. And you probably haven't been completely upfront about what you're looking for. You can tell by him being like, is it wrong to date 2 women at once? Like he's literally thinking it's a moral issue. So he's just not used to, this kind of behavior. And so it's not, if someone's trying to do this, then you're just like, you might be dating the wrong women if you want to continue being a 30-year-old playboy in your own words here. So that's really the issue. It's not like you're not have to get fucking a crime scene. You're not gonna get CSI over there to sweep your fucking apartment every time you fucking get your dick sucked after watching Hulu.
Yeah. Also, I think, look, if you're like, I gave you a way to lie, but also I also believe that if you in your 30s and you want to be a player, be a player. You don't gotta lie. You ain't looking for your wife. You ain't just. Yeah, somebody left her earrings. What to tell? I don't know what to tell you. Women fuck me.
Oh yeah, friend. You could literally be like, oh yeah, a friend left those here.
Yeah.
What's she gonna? She's gonna press you. It's like, yeah, we were dating. We used to date. Like whatever. Well, it doesn't matter.
Big deal? Well, I don't get it. Unless you're telling me it's your girlfriend finding stuff.
Right.
That's a problem. But random girls, who cares what they find?
Yeah. I mean, you heard his voice was shaking talking to us. You think he could fucking be like, yeah, it's different girls. What are you gonna do about it? Zip. Get the sucking or get the trucking, whore. He's not gonna do that.
That's the energy.
I know, but he's not built for it.
That New York energy.
The thing is, you're enjoying the first and probably only time you're fucking multiple women at once. He's gonna get married. I bet this guy's gonna end up getting married to the woman who put the earrings behind that picture.
This guy will be married before this episode releases. Let's be honest. We're a little backlogged. I can hear it in his voice.
So yeah, man, that's our. Ian gave you some cover, and you just have to. I think you need to just be more selective in who you date. You can't be dating these, and be more honest about what your intentions are.
It's weird that women are doing this like to him too, because I never had that.
Yeah, but again, New York City.
Yeah,
he's in the heartland, let's say, in a place where if you're 30, you're probably trying to get married. You know what I mean? But it is weird. Don't get me wrong. It's weird on both their ends because clearly it's insanely weirdly passive-aggressive behavior on their part, but he's also just not being upfront with. She probably gets an inkling that this is going on, isn't going to have the conversation. He has an inkling that she has an inkling. He's putting his fucking head in the sand and trying to get double sucked as much as possible, and that's what's going on here. There's a complete lack of communication on both ends, leading to insane behavior.
The get the sucking or get the trucking is hilarious. I feel like that sounds like a far right campaign. Like they were doing this like to Kamala. It sounds like what you see at a Trump rally with a shirt. Shit that has nothing to do with politics. You're like, what does this mean?
Yeah, and I want to be clear. That is a phrase that we employ for non-political misogyny on this show. Go ahead, Eldest.
This is a 2-minute.
Yeah, this is
Hi, Stavvy. Hi, Eldest. Hi, guest. I am looking for advice from a male perspective on an issue that I have because I really don't have any close male friends and I don't have like a cool older brother that I can talk to about
That's what
something
we're here
like this. So I have been in the same relationship with my husband for 11 years, married for 3, so we dated for a long time.
Okay.
We were high school sweethearts. And anyways, we've never had any problems. We're super compatible. We don't fight a lot. But as soon as we bought a house and kind of added a layer of like responsibility, we did start to have some issues surrounding the fact that I'm the breadwinner and I was carrying most of the weight in terms of like bills. And I think, my husband started to feel insecure about his role as like a husband and as a man. And we did start to have some arguments surrounding finances. Anyways, one day I just had this really weird feeling and I looked at the messages on his Apple Watch and I saw that he had texted his coworker, "Good morning, baby," at 8 a.m. on a Saturday.
Broke motherfucker. This fucking guy needs to ask for fucking permission to buy a golf club, and he's fucking texting bitches at his office, "Good morning, baby."
He said, "Good morning, baby." That's tough.
"Good morning, baby" at 8 a.m. is really tough. Really tough. And okay, keep going, Eldest.
And her messages were silenced, which is a huge red flag, and there were no previous messages, so everything's been deleted.
Come on.
He had told me, and she told me, that it was nothing more than a couple weeks of innocent flirting.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hooked up. They've never done anything else. And
pause it. Your Honor, I bought the cocaine. I never did the cocaine. Yes, you did find Look, I'm not going to argue with you. You found cocaine in my jacket. I never opened it. I never did it. I mean, they just flirted, and he's deleted all the... Anyway, let's finish up, but come on. This is bad.
I don't know. I'm just having a really hard time, accepting that answer and moving past it.
Yes.
Because I just feel like I'll never really know the full truth and extent of it. It's also probably important to mention that around the time of this fling, he stopped wearing his wedding ring to work.
Oh my God!
Boy,
What?
Is this a prank?
I mean,
Are we
Jesus
being
Christ! Holy fuck! Okay,
Also,
this
he works?
poor woman. Yeah. What work to fucking where the fuck was he going? Best Buy. He had a hard day of unlocking Fitbits for people, and he fucking that gets in the way, babe. When I'm taking a Sonos, when I'm putting a Sonos in the back of a Toyota Highlander, I don't want my wedding ring to get snagged. Jesus Christ.
Any advice that you could give to help me kind of feel less insecure about it? I obviously don't want to throw away, 11 plus years over, I don't know, innocent texting, if that's what it was.
Baby, come on. I mean,
good morning, baby. That's not innocent texting.
Good morning, baby. It's not on
a Saturday.
On a fucking Saturday with the text deleted?
That's not innocent texting, and the message is silenced. That's not innocent texting.
That's not. I mean, and I know this is circumstantial evidence. You don't have the smoking gun in theory, but good God Almighty! I mean, this is crazy.
This is beautiful gaslighting right here.
This is
the guy's making her feel bad about being the breadwinner.
You're fucking. He has no say in anything. He's a piece of shit. He's clearly insecure that you have the better job, whatever, and he's gaslighting you into. He's acting out because it's like there's some dumb bitch at work that'll never be better than him. You're better than him. You're clearly smarter and make more money. You know what I mean? Like, you've been better than him, honestly, since you were kids. That's the problem with... Look, I don't want to bring this up, but you know my stance on high school and college sweethearts even. It's just like, it's tough for that shit to work out. And I'm not saying it doesn't work out, but I am saying that this is textbook gaslighting.
Right.
I mean, this is fucking nuts. And, like, you're feeling guilty? You're calling in and feeling guilty is crazy. I mean, this is the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you should feel insecure because I don't believe this fucking guy. And I don't even know
she said she spoke to her too. I would like to know what that was like.
I mean, that's the like...
She said that the other girl said it was just flirting.
I know.
He said
that's really interesting.
I'm like, so did you reach out to her? Did you show
Yeah, how did that happen? I mean, if he's like... I was like, yeah, talk to her. And he's like, all right, they're fucking going over it like a mob lawyer.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're going over her testimony the night before the fucking trial.
This is tough.
This is really tough because you're clearly a nice person who is gaslit to oblivion right now. The fact that he's even making you feel bad about being the breadwinner that in and of itself is a gigantic red flag. To be like... To start, everything's gone good, and the arguments start because you make more money, because you provide for him, and that starts an argument. Like, he can't say shit to you. That's red flag number one. Somebody who's with someone understands, it's not like this changed or anything like that. And even if it did, if it's your fucking life partner, you can't be insecure about shit like that.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, you caught your husband texting his coworker, "Good morning, baby," at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Like, he was having an affair. Whether he had sex with her or not, I mean, I guess that's debatable.
It's minimum an emotional affair. It's an absolute minimum. And he's just because he wiped the hard drives doesn't mean there wasn't fucked up shit.
Right. There's probably nudes there.
Oh, minimum, we're talking nudes.
Yeah. So he was having an emotional affair at least. So you have to decide if you're willing to trust him again or put up with that, because that's the thing that happened. Like, you caught that.
Yeah.
At the very minimum, and who knows what the more. But I think sometimes women should ask themselves, it's like, all right, let's say you did catch him sleeping with his coworker.
Right.
Are you gonna leave him? Because if you're not going to leave him, then just let it go. Because you're not going to leave him.
Yeah, are you going to leave him? What are you going to? How are you going to replace that $800 a month he brings in? You're gonna have to either cut. You're gonna have to Disney Plus or fucking Hulu.
Right.
Yeah, I know he pays for all the streaming services, so you think about that. You know what I mean?
Decide what you're gonna do. If you're not gonna leave him regardless, then stop killing yourself over it.
I mean, if you're not gonna leave, first of all, if you want my harsh, true thoughts on this,
please.
High school sweethearts, it's got to be perfect to continue a high school sweethearts relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the only person you've ever dated. The second you hit a road bump, which, look, and as much as I was tough on the guy for like saying it's a red flag to start arguments over, you know, the imbalance in their financial stuff. Like, I get how that could, your knee-jerk reaction to feeling insufficient to your wife could start an argument, but you have to work through that, and you have to, all right, we're good. Clearly, the second this guy felt emasculated, he fucking, at the very minimum, looked for attention elsewhere. At the very minimum, at worst case scenario, had a full-blown affair with somebody. That's the first problem you guys have had. He has a fucking affair of some level. He doesn't provide. You don't even have the fucking cold, rational, he's fucking rich, I'll turn a blind eye. Yeah. You fucking buy him. He's wearing Dockers you fucking paid for. To me, you can't let it, I would not let it go. I would at minimum go to like counseling to feel like you're actually over this. Have him actually admit what happened. You can't have these weird half-truths.
Yeah, the half-truths is no good.
You have to be like, you know what? It can't be a conversation between you, him, and the girl he fucking cheated with. It's got to be you, him, and a fucking therapist. And look, I'm not even saying throw it away, right? That's definitely my inclination. I'm that kind of person. That's my own issue.
Just throw it away.
I've fucked up relationships because I don't want to work on them.
Yeah.
I'm not even if he cheated, I'm not even necessarily saying throw it away, because the older I get, the more I realize sometimes people just fucking act out. You both are immature. You both are high school sweethearts. He doesn't know. He's never dealt with any of this shit. It could have, even if he had an affair, it could have been a mistake that he won't repeat. But it also could be something you can't get over. And either one of those is fine. That's your decision to make. But to sort of, you're treating this a little flippantly because this guy is gaslit the fuck out of you. And so you have to treat this with it's a serious thing that could very well sink your relationship. And I think you need to treat it with that kind of severity. That's the way I'd look at it. That's just given the context of their relationship.
Is this the same caller who said that she didn't have like men in her life?
Yes.
She could talk to? Well, that makes sense.
Totally.
That's why she's being so easily manipulated.
Absolutely. This guy's probably so stupid.
Right.
And because she doesn't have any
because any man would be like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
This is insane. This is like
all
silly.
of this is crazy.
Yeah. But that makes sense. But yeah, I agree. I think you gotta at least go to therapy on this. You gotta
minimum
work through this, because you always gonna have that. And what's the not wearing your wedding ring to work? What is that?
I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, what is
Everything you've said is fucking crazy. I hate to be this guy.
Hey, I've been known to forget mine when I come to work here sometimes.
Yeah, Elders is trying to fuck me. Elders is trying to fuck his coworkers.
But she said like, he was doing it purposely. Like, you know.
I mean, this. I feel so bad for her, because I'd love to be able to talk to her actually, but yeah, this is tough. This guy, and you can't be taking any shit from this fucking guy. And I mean, that's the other thing. It's like the fact that he's trying to weirdly come, I don't know, kind of on top. Like, she feels bad. You hear it in her voice.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel bad at all.
I mean, you should feel bad that your husband's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, you should feel sad, but you shouldn't feel guilty.
Yeah, not guilty.
The guilt she feels guilty. She's like, I don't want to be insecure. You're not being insecure. You're reacting like a fucking human being would to this situation.
Right.
And if this, and I will say, if this was me, I'm not having a calm conversation with the guy who texted my fucking wife, "Good morning, baby." I'm not going to get his side of the story. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
good morning, baby is crazy.
I mean, it's insane. What are we talking about? It's your fucking husband. Oh man. So anyway,
if I call a girlfriend texting a guy "good morning, baby" on Saturday 8 a.m., I think that's it.
That's probably it. Yeah, for sure.
I think we're done.
It's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Why would you ever text that to a fucking coworker?
Because you're fucking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no other with the fucking shit wiped and the message is silenced.
Yeah. Like,
you get a divorce lawyer immediately. Honestly,
or you go to counseling. And work through it if that's the route. You don't just have to.
Those are the two options.
Yeah.
The third, like, take his word for it and have a conversation with the girl. You're a nice person that has gotten manipulated. This is fucking nuts. But we're rooting for you.
Also, if you got a little money, hire a private investigator.
You're so fucking right. Hire a private investigator.
Let them get to the bottom of it.
We'll match.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Contact Eldest. We will match you up to, I don't know, $1,000.
Where's the? Can we look up the zip code to see?
Yeah, let's see where she's at.
Where is it? Area code. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. I was just there. I was there last weekend. I could have done some research.
Yeah.
We should catch a flight and do a cheater style episode of Stavvy's World.
Holy shit, Eldest.
That's hilarious.
You're a fucking genius. We need to fucking do Cheaters, Stavvy's World Cheaters Edition, where we confront them.
It'd be hilarious if her husband is also a listener and he sends us a message like, "Hey, Stavvy, love you, long time listener. So I'm cheating on my wife.
So I'm cheating on my wife. I think
she's looking at my
I think this whore's gotten wise. My buddy, hang in there.
Yeah, you're giving him both advice. Hang in there. She's probably gonna hire a private investigator, but listen.
Yeah, for real. Like, you were being gaslit here. We've spent enough time. You get it. You get where we're coming from. But we're rooting for you, and we literally will help if you need us to.
That's hilarious. You're a good guy, man.
Yeah, I mean, we love our listeners here on Stavvy's World. What do we got, Eldest? Let's do a couple more.
Hey, Stavvy. Hey, Eldest. Hello, guest. Yeah, so I'm taking too long. I apologize. Basically, my eldest sister, she's got this boyfriend who sucks. He's just like, has been caught sneaking into people's family liquor cabinets and just drinking, just throwing them back.
A grown man? Not a child?
Sick, but he sucks, okay? He sucks. And he just told, they're planning on getting married.
Ooh.
I hate this guy. My dad passed away about a year ago. We're going to go celebrate his life, just the four of us, me, my other sister, my mom, and her. She really wants him to come. We're kind of like, no, we're not bringing any of our partners. I have a really sick, super sexy Latina girlfriend who's awesome,
Respect.
but she's not coming because we just want to be the four of us. She's flipping out about it. They're planning on getting married now, which sucks. Basically, should I tell her I fucking hate this guy? They can get married, that's fine. But part of me is like, she should just know I really don't fucking like him. Also, no one likes him in our family, like cousins and everything, aunt and uncle. Thank you so much, dude. Have a great fucking day.
Oh, this is a brutal situation, man.
Yeah.
To hate a potential in-law of your sibling is really tough.
Yeah.
You got to tread lightly, though. I fully get where he's coming from. I get the where he's, his feelings here. But overplaying your hand could lead to them having the leg up here and some sympathy. Like, if you're like, he's a fucking piece of fuck. If you, without them really deserving it. Now, she's the asshole here for trying to get anyone to this thing where you said we're trying to celebrate our dad's, life, just immediate family. No one's bringing partners, and her insisting. That's a pretty nice opening, actually. That's a pretty nice opening to air out your true feelings, because you have the cover of how selfish it is, and also that it is your dad's funeral, essentially. Pops can do you one more solid from beyond the grave and provide you coverage to shit on this piece of shit boyfriend, right? Where you're like, honestly, first of all, you could be like, it's disrespectful for you to want special treatment compared to the rest of us. That's number one. And two, since you're pressing the matter, your boyfriend's a fucking asshole who I don't want honoring my father's memory for this, and this reason. That's how I would handle it in terms of like family politics. You know what I mean? Like, and her insisting is weird. Now look, the other thing you have to realize, you're not winning this. People with horrible partners love their stupid fucking partners. For some stupid psychological reason, they have their hooks in them. And honestly, the more you fucking hate them, the more it might actually backfire on you. But at the same time, you're a human being and you have to go through life speaking your truth, brother. And I wouldn't swallow my fucking tongue if this guy was that big of a piece of shit, personally.
I I think this is very tricky, man. As the youngest of 5, I don't see
you have much more.
I don't see a winning scenario here.
There's no winning. No, that's a good point.
I think you may just have to resort to talking shit behind his back with your other family members. Seriously, like I don't. There's no like you're not gonna you're gonna tell her I don't like this guy and what? She's gonna not marry him? No. Like she's not even gonna take it into account. As soon as you say that to her, from what it sounds like, you're gonna become her enemy.
Sure.
So it's like, what is it to you? Like, there's no positive coming from that. Only your own ego being like, well, I told her that I didn't like him, but it's like she's not going to leave him. She's not going to look at him differently. She's going to look at you differently. So there's really no win for you here.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's only what negative is more palatable to you. And the options are, you're right, saying it for yourself and potentially losing your sister in a real way, or biting your tongue, living in like this weird quasi, ignoring, having an elephant in the room for the rest of your life. Now, to me personally, because of how I grew up and because so much of my life was pretending shit was okay that wasn't, I don't think I could handle that as an adult.
Yeah.
I think I would, and listen, I'm not even saying I wouldn't invite him to my fucking house if he behaved fine, but I don't think...
He's gonna steal out your liquor cabinet.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like, it's almost like you can't, just because you're pretty sure a guy's gonna commit a crime, you can't arrest him until he's committed the crime. It's like,
I'm black. I understand.
Yeah. If only we could police the way we knew, things would be simpler. But basically,
no stop and frisk.
Yeah. Exactly. You can't have Giuliani style tactics on this guy, even though he fits the profile. You have to wait until he comes out of a fucking H&M with his fucking backpack stuffed full of V-necks to sell at homeroom the next day.
Yeah. I just think as like somebody's brother, you don't have. It's not you liking them is pointless. It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. It means nothing. Whether you like him or not, it means nothing. Your only role is to wish best for your sister. Now, if she comes to you and confides in you, and she gives you the window of saying your opinion, like maybe she's having issues and she comes to you and she's like, and then it gives you the window to say your opinion. That's a role. But to just listen, sit down and volunteer your opinion on your partner's. On your sister or brother's partner, I don't think there's a role where you come out as a good guy here.
Yeah, you're right. And in fact, that makes me sort of even retract my original advice where I said the funeral or the celebration of life gives him cover. You have to stick with the rules here, and the rules are just no partners. And it's immaterial that this guy's a piece of shit.
Right.
And I think you're right, Ian. It's like you have to just accept this. And like I said, if a window comes up, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. You can say it. No one's going to stop you. But you also have to. Window, though. You also have to understand it. Even when the window comes up, it doesn't matter.
It still doesn't matter.
Fucking say it, and then she'll be sad and crying for a week, and then they get back. How many times does that happen?
Yeah.
Where a friend breaks up with somebody, and you're like,
every time.
Finally,
it happens every single time.
And then you say everything that you fucking bitten your tongue about, and they get back together a month later.
Every single time.
So even when you get the window, you have to be careful.
Also, I think the desire to wanting to let somebody know that you don't like their partner when you know nothing is going to come from it, that's a little bit selfish.
You're right.
It's a little bit like trying to feed your own ego of like, I was right and I want to be ahead of it before I was right. Because you know for a fact he knows she's not going to leave him.
Right.
If that were part of the conversation, I would say, yeah, then maybe there is space to have it. But you know she's not.
Right.
You're just going to become enemies.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so just,
But shout out to the hot Latina girlfriend.
Shout out
I feel
to
like
her,
that's
man.
not getting
Respect.
enough. Yeah, she sounds great.
She sounds awesome. I'd love one of those myself.
I feel like you should focus on that and forget about your sister and her alcoholic.
Fuck your. Oh, you have to see this drunk every fucking Thanksgiving.
Look at your hot girlfriend.
Who gives a fuck, dude? Come on, go have some fucking fresh.
I have a really sick, super sick, hot Latina girlfriend. Those are his words. That's a fucking. You're living the dream.
You can also tell this frustration is coming out of his sister insisting he comes to the dad's funeral.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of that. You also have to recognize when your sister's you got to let that shit go. And my worry here would be that his sister might just be an enemy anyway. You know what I mean? If she continues to advocate for a guy who's being a fucking asshole, and she just kind of becomes his teammate, that is an unfortunate thing that happens.
I mean, they're teammates. That's what it is. That's what it is. They're there.
No,
but
you're right.
I will say this. Maybe this is a conversation you could have as somebody who has lost a parent. I think it's something to bring up is like, with her, it's like, unless it's a husband or a wife, you don't want to make a boyfriend or somebody like that part of something like this, because this lives on with you forever.
Right. Totally.
And you don't want this person, once you've moved on and you're now married with like a new husband or whatever, you don't want this person to be inscribed into that memory of like.
Totally. Well, no, he doesn't want this guy here either way.
Yeah, no, I'm saying her. She wouldn't want that.
Right.
She wouldn't want that. In the future, it's like you don't want to look back at your dad's celebration of life and see some asshole who was an alcoholic.
You don't want the guy in the
date.
back in the selfie you take in the woods or wherever
but
he's scattering
that's
his
the
Taking a
problem.
little shot that he brought from a flask.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think that's what this comes from. And I think ultimately, dude, put your foot down. Don't let this motherfucker come to this thing. And whatever you have to do that, I think, even if you have to, yell at your sister, whatever. But you got to tread lightly here, my friend. Why don't you fucking cap us off with something good, Eldis?
How many of these do you get, man? These are crazy.
We get a lot.
Yeah,
we get a ton.
Hey, Stav. Hey, Eldis. I have a question. Oh, hello, guest.
Thank you.
I have a question about my relationship with my girlfriend right now. So, for background, I'm 23. She's 21. We've been dating for like a year-ish. And it's going great. It's really wonderful. I love her. She loves me. She's beautiful. Everything's great. She's super creative and talented, et cetera, all the boring shit. But really recently we've had a bit of an issue because she bleached her eyebrows blonde. And
hilarious.
She was like talking to me about wanting to do this for
problem.
like a week, maybe 2 weeks. And as she was talking to me, I was very honest with her, and I was like, look, I don't think it's going to look very good, but if you want to do it, I support you in doing it. And eventually she did it, and then she FaceTimed me at the time, and I was like, it looks better than I thought it would, and that wasn't a happy enough response for her. Anyway,
idiot. This guy's awesome.
She keeps re-bleaching her eyebrows, and every time I see her, I'm like, damn, she's so pretty, but I wish she had normal eyebrows again. What do I do?
What do you
here?
do?
Am I, should I say that?
No.
I feel like that's not the way to say it, obviously. So if I should say something, you gotta tell me what to do. Help me out here, Stav.
I gotta help you out? What are you fucking... Oh, hey, how do I control my girlfriend's appearance against her will? You don't, dickhead. You're a fucking dumb little idiot. This is what happens when you're 21, she's 22. You're not going to be able to tell her to fucking... You can't tell your girl...
He's 23, she's 21. Yeah, he's 23, she's 21.
Yeah, dude. You're not...
Yeah. Also, like, eyebrow... Come on, like, that'll be done soon. You don't got to say nothing. Let her ride it out. No one's going to keep bleaching their eyebrows.
What are you fucking talking about?
This is not a real problem.
You fucking loser. And by the way, the fact that the type of person in a relationship who nips a girl's appearance that he doesn't like in the bud is not a nervous podcast listener, voicemail leaver. If you were going to control her appearance, you would have done it already. There's nothing in the world I can say
to teach you how to be a man.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not even advocating for that. I wouldn't tell my girl to fucking, to change her appearance if I didn't like something. I'd let her fucking ride it out. I don't give a fuck. But it's like, yeah, you clearly you don't get to say, here's what you could do. You do something stupid to your face. Yeah, right. That would backfire. She would just leave you and fuck somebody else. Yeah. She's a hot girl that does dumb shit to her eyebrows and still is hot. She sounds
hot. Yeah.
Yeah. She sounds cool. She sounds way cooler than you. So yeah, dude, this is part of what goes. Dating a hot girl package is you just gotta. They do whatever they want with their fucking appearance.
Yeah.
And also, you're along for the ride.
I mean, this is not going to happen if you're dating a 29-year-old, right?
Sure.
They're probably not going to bleach their eyebrows blonde.
Sure.
But if you're going to take the joys of 21-year-old Vaj, you have to take the backlash that come from it, which is sometimes they wake up and they want to bleach their face.
Yeah. Something odd happens, bro.
Right.
Who gives a fuck?
That's what it is.
Yeah. This is so funny. He hates this, and he's such a coward. He can't even admit it to us. He's like, you got to tell me what to do, Stav. There's nothing to do, buddy.
Enjoy, man.
Enjoy. Have a good time. Don't be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, you'll break up. It's
and
fine.
Learn how to lie to women when you know the right answer on insignificant shit. Pretend it looked awesome. I mean,
she'll probably if you tell her it look awesome, she'll probably stop. She'll probably stop doing it. Like it'll probably be like, all right, well that's fine.
Yeah.
She'll probably be like, I'm going blue now.
That is actually true. You 100% bought yourself minimum 2 extra weeks of bleached eyebrows by harumphing that shit. Yeah, dude, you're a fucking idiot. You're 23. This is dumb young guy problems. It's literally cute. This is like when you see a video of a baby trying to like eat toast for the first time or avocado, and it's just got avocado toast. It's just got green all over its nose. This is you trying to be it's so funny to look at 23-year-old problems and be like, aw, he thinks if he tells her to bleach her eyebrows back, that will help him. He thinks that won't be the worst mistake he's ever made in his life. Well, good for you, buddy. You're cute. Thank you to everybody who called in. Thank you, Ian. Great episode, buddy. We really appreciate you coming by, and we will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course.